Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC, going back to some real kind of EDC foundation roots here today, having a look at the O-Pen Mini 2. Now with Olight, there's generally sales all through the year, but I thought with their Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales starting soon, it'd be really good to look at some of those fundamentals. Now outside of making great flashlights, they also have a lot of other kind of secondary EDC items, and this is a cracking example of that. Let's take a closer look. So here we have the O-Pen Mini 2. Right, let's go through some of those big headlines that you're after as far as numbers are concerned. I will put the exact dimensions down here, but you're looking at just over 10 centimeters by just under 1 centimeter in size along the actual shaft or the barrel of the pen here itself. Yes, I did just say shaft. Weight wise, it comes in just over 15 grams. So as far as having a pen in your hand is concerned, it is incredibly light. Now they've been able to make this as light as possible, mainly down to things for the construction on here. The vast majority of this is made from 6061 T6 aluminium, known for being robust, but also having a good quality balance between being robust and also being light. What they've also done is, if you look as I rotate this here, you can see that they have these holes here in the barrel. What this has also allowed to do is shave off probably a decent amount of weight. When I unscrew this, if I open this up for a second, hopefully there you'll be able to see that you can actually see through this. So when you see through and you see the silver on the inside, it's actually from the cartridge that is on the inside here. So it is a refillable one. You can purchase additional cartridges. It's also compatible with other cartridges as well. As far as the writing experience is concerned, the ink is reasonably smooth. Now, of course, when you first get this, you have to maybe sign your signature several times before you can make sure that the ballpoint on the end has become lubricated. But it's no different to any other pen. Once that ballpoint has been able to draw down some of the ink to it, then it writes incredibly smooth. Now, as far as the writing experience is concerned, let's just pop that back up for a second. It's not one of those. Now, when I say this, what I'm thinking about are those tiny little pens that you get when you go to the bank and you need to pay something in. I'm probably showing my age here for a second, but you get those tiny wee little pens that when you hold it, it won't reach this pad here at the back. It's very similar to the small pencils that you get when you go into IKEA and you need to make some notes, which are just an absolute ball ache to be able to write with. It's got a good length on this, and by that I mean, when you're writing, you can hold it between your two fingers and your thumb, and it will also rest on this pad here at the back, and it will glide perfectly as it is that you are writing. So as far as the writing experience is concerned, it's very similar to any other pen. It's also, because of that nice light feeling that you get from it, it means that you can write for prolonged periods a little bit better as well. Now, when I'm writing, I generally pinch quite close to the edge like this, as I'm sure probably everybody else writes. If I'm out with clients and I have to do some illustrations, because of the way that I illustrate, I tend to hold it a little bit further back. It does slip sometimes from that pad, but it's not to the point where it falls down and I'm having to push it in here. But again, for my profession, it still works perfectly, and I can still do exactly what I need to be able to do with this. I kind of got onto the writing experience when I hadn't touched on some of the other features there. So you do have a pocket clip on here, which is a good strong pocket clip. It is a wire pocket clip, so when I say strong, it's as strong as you would probably imagine. I'm sure if you put too much pressure on this, it might bend, but that's no different to any other pen that has one of these just kind of bent wire. I say wire, it's not really wire, but hopefully you know what I mean. It is anodized. It uses the same anodized coating that Olight use with all of their lights, so it's pretty tough. It's pretty robust as well. And then here down on the end, you can see it says Olight O-Pen Mini 2. These are available in a few different colours, which I think is nice. Hadn't really thought about this before, but I think what would be really cool is, could you imagine, so this, where this barrel is and that turns and you can see that inside. One thing that will gather up over some time, I know I've just took it off and I'm putting it back on again, but I can imagine after some time that you will get some pocket lint and some fuzz into here. It's inevitable. There's no way that that won't happen. It'd be super cool. Could you imagine if they made like I can't think what to call it, like a sleeve, that you could have different coloured sleeves that you could buy as accessories that you could push into here, then push this in. So if you had the green pen and you wanted like a orange on the inside, it would just be a very thin sleeve that you'd push into that, and then you could mix them up and they could probably have different sales on different colours. I probably should be selling this to Olight at this moment in time, but I think that'd be cool. But yes, so I mean, I'm not trying to overgill the lily here, but there is a chance that after some time you will get a little pocket lint in there. But luckily, as you can see, it's very easy to be able to open this, give that a quick blowout, and then get back onto not worrying about having pocket lint in your O-Pen. What you may have noticed here down at the bottom is this is a bolt action pen, but it is a two-function bolt action pen. You probably see me already. You can slide this forward, slide to the side, and then you'll be able to get access to your pen, which is 99% of the time how you'll be using this. But this additional feature here at the back, and it's got a really nice clicky flick back. So as far as fidget factor is concerned, if you're the type of person that likes annoying your colleagues by flicking with your pen, your colleagues are probably going to put a hit out on you by the end of the week, and you need to start looking under your card before you start it. But yes, super fidgety. There is a second function to this, which comes out of the end here. Now, one would assume, with it being sort of Olighty, that they would attach some sort of light to this. Not with this one, and I certainly don't mind that. I think sometimes it's good for pens to be pens, to walk around with their other pen friends and go, I'm just a pen, and them to go, I'm just a pen too. But with this, they can go, I'm a pen, but sometimes I identify as a pencil. What you can do is, instead of pushing this forward and switching it like that, you can push it down ever so slightly, so it just comes out of this holding point here. It goes off to the side, and then you can push it round, and then here on the end, you have one of those everlasting pencils. This did used to have a sharp point to it. Unfortunately, I dropped it, and I dropped it in the kitchen onto the stone floor, and it chipped the end off. I don't think that's the pen's fault. That's my fault for having these stupid fat sausage fingers and dropping it. But I have spent the last couple of weeks writing with this, and it's took that long just for me to be able to smooth the end off here. So if you do a lot of illustrations and you need to do your pencil work first before you then start doing your ink work, and you're just putting down your guidelines, this is really useful for this. Having this combination has worked out actually better than I thought it would do. But yes, it does have a dual function. Now, when you bring it round, you have to push it forward, which will kind of take it into this. I guess if we were in a car, this is kind of neutral. We're now in drive. No, that's drive, and that's reverse. Anyway, but you put it into neutral, and then, oh, it did it itself that time. You have to kind of push it round. That would keep it in what I'd refer to it as its normal position, because from here you can push that down and turn it, lock that bolt in, and then you can use it as a pen as it's designed to be used. I really do like the form factor of this, mainly because of just how small it is. as mentioned, you know, it fits great into your hand, but the beauty is having this in your pocket. It's not like a full-sized pen. The weight of it is a lot less, so you certainly don't have to worry about it kind of bouncing around with other items in your pocket. But when you need it, you can pull it out and you can, you know, you can do whatever it is you want to need to do with it. Even just little things like here, it just so happens that the jacket that I'm wearing has a small pocket on the wrist. I can put it in here, no matter how much I shake this. Watch this now, it'll actually do it. Where is the pen? Where is the pen? It's here on the front, and it's just in line with this seam here. Open that, do whatever it is I need to do, put it back in again. If you're having range days maybe, and you're doing some long distance shooting, I mean, you probably have your pen out with your paperwork anyway, but just stuff like that. Very cool, nice little wee pen. Hopefully this doesn't come across as a bit preachy. It might do though. I genuinely think, as far as staples are concerned, about what one should carry within one's EDC, a pen is incredibly useful. It would be amazing that we could fully embrace this digital revolution where everything is digital, everything works, and, you know, it just works. But we all know that doesn't happen from time to time, and you could probably get a little bit kind of, a bit weary about governments always knowing what you're doing, but if it's on your phone, generally someone will know what you're doing, or they'll have access to that information. Going back in time and using future technology, now that was probably the bad example, but what I meant was using good old-fashioned pen on ink, I think is always going to work and is always going to be king. The pen is mightier than the sword or maybe a little kind of pocket knife, but yeah, incredibly useful. So there you go. This is the O-Pen Mini 2. I do want to say, full disclosure, this was sent to me by Olight. Again, I have a great relationship with Olight. If there was anything that I would change about this, I'm certainly within my rights to be able to tell you that. There's very little that I would possibly change about this. Yeah, it's a great small pen and perfect for EDC. I did mention at the beginning of this, we are coming up to Black Friday, that's Cyber Monday weekend. They have started a sale early, so there are some links below so that you can get some exclusive discounts on this. If you choose to use those links, I do get a small kickback and it helps to fund my channel so that I can continue to make content here on YouTube or Rumble. So yes, of course, those links are below. A huge thank you again to Olight. I'll also leave some of my social media links here on Moorlander EDC and my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Seems weird talking about proper dedicated EDC items like pens out in the woods. I mean, because I'll usually do this at my desk at home, but I was out. I wanted to make some content on this. It was perfectly timed with the sales and stuff. But if you need to, you can fend off badgers. Badgers will always stay away from a ballpoint pen. It's like Superman and Kryptonite. Badgers and ballpoint pens. Which is one thing the government never really understood with the whole badger cull and TB and all of that sort of stuff. If they've just hung big ballpoint pens round cows' necks, then badgers wouldn't have gone near them. But again, it's just, if the government of England had come and asked me, I'd have mentioned it, but I'd rather sit back and make them look like continued dickheads. So it is what it is. The more you know. I don't know what I want to say. What do I want to say? I want to say something impactful, something that's meaningful and makes a huge difference in your life when talking about a ballpoint pen. An item from Olight, and this is the Olight Mini Pen 2. It's the O-Pen Mini 2, of course. I thought I had it then. O-Pen Mini 2. I think this is coming out on a strange day. Now I say strange, I don't mean because usually it's a Sunday or a Wednesday. This is coming out on a different day of the week this week. And I think it's just after the weekend. I do need to triple check what days it's coming out. But either way, I hope you've all had a great weekend and I hope you all have an awesome and productive week ahead of you. Black Friday sales, all that sort of stuff. Kind of exciting times, especially for the channel, because it's where I get a lot of the stuff that I'll review for the rest of the year. If I can find some good codes and some good discounts, I get a lot of manufacturers do send me codes. I'll make sure to put them into my community tab. But yeah, have a great week. See you soon.